Hello YouTube, I'm Elwirfy and as you can see we have some more Warhammer 40k stuff going on. As you can clearly see as I pan around the table here, we're in a different location this time because stuff had to be moved and stuff, and I got a whole bunch of nerdy stuff over there that my dad's dealing with. But today I wanted to actually talk about some events, or well, I guess some updates with my army, because I'm going to an event. Well, not an event, but I'm going to a game store to play some battles, and if they let me, I'm going to try and show you, but if not, I kind of wanted to tell you about what I was going to be doing in these battles and kind of my thought process of how exactly I want to run my army now that 8th edition has come out, because keep in mind, this army was created for 7th edition rules, but I found an interesting way I can adapt my army, which I'm going to take a look at. This piece of paper in the middle is actually just showing off my list. I know my shadow's in the way here, let me move that. So yeah, there's my list of 2,000 points of Blood Angels. I'm just going to hold it on there for a second. You can pause it if you want to read that. But I'm actually just going to go ahead and talk about everything that's on this paper, and I just have it out here to go down the line and, you know, show off and explain everything. I'm not going to be rolling dice today. It's not really about that. More about kind of the general movement. Mainly about movement. That's what I'm focused on, because again, the dice can be random, and you can't plan for dice. You can only plan for your movement on the table and what orders you decide to give. So, as you'll notice, I've set up this group right here. This is what my enemy will physically see on the table. Ignore all of this and all of this, as they will not be able to, they will not be deployed on the table. These guys will be off to the side, and they're going to drop in. Because one of the new rules for 40k is that guys with jump packs, including my chaplain, who's my warlord, so my warlord will begin the game off the table, and amazingly, there's no more objective secured, which is wonderful if you know what that is. If you don't, then don't worry about it. So when there's the way it works is, say for whatever reason, say this pen was like an objective, and I decide, oh, there's an enemy unit on that objective, they're getting points. Well, anytime I want to, at the end of the movement phase, I can choose to maybe drop in a squad of 5 of my elite death company, and each of them counts as one model towards this objective. Because the way the game works now is that whoever has the most models next to an objective scores the objective, from what I know. Either that or you're contesting at the very least. So the way I'm thinking about running this, because these guys, the Terminators, can also teleport in, deep strike in. The Chaplain will come in with all of my different squads. I'll have about 7 squads of units of 5-man squads that can score objectives, which I think is amazing. And they start off the table, and I can bring them in whenever I want to, provided they're 9 inches away, so therefore, pre-planning, I'm going to try and use my main force to draw the enemy away from his objectives to make it easier for these guys to deploy, to sneak in. That's my my current plan. So what are we bringing in the main force? Well, we have our 2 ball predators, which I've learned are now much better in 8th edition. So the way they work is they're going to be rolling dice differently than I had originally expected. So definitely going to be making sure that these guys see some action in the front lines. Then we're going to have 2 rhinos here, with 10-man tactical squads that'll also drive forward and help, because there's 10 guys in each of these models, so that'll help secure me some objectives, as well as making sure that I'm able to put in body mass. So say for whatever reason, 5 guys wasn't enough, well, we'll bring in a rhino, we'll drive that forward, and then the guys will start hopping out to start helping to claim the objective. This is the Flamer squad. The Flamer guy's cool. That's it. So yeah, so we're gonna have these tanks. So it's an aggressive army. That's what I love about it. This guy is a bit slow, and to be honest, I don't have the points to put him in a drop pod, which is very sad. So he does have to walk across the table, but he's very good at killing vehicles. Now, with regards to these guys, so their flamestorm cannons, the way they work is and I'll even. Oh no, that's the wrong piece of paper. But they reduce the enemy's armor, right? And they have automatic hits, so it's very good for getting good wounds on them. Now, I was thinking about some alternate builds, though. Depending on how it goes, I am of course, going to be bringing my whole army into the shop. And depending on what there is, I might be bringing Vindicators instead of Ball Predators. I'm going to ask them their opinions about it. I'm going to play games with both lists, see how they do, because Vindicators have become extremely good at killing the enemy, heavies. And I'm also thinking about removing a tactical squad, because of these guys could technically be troops. So these guys might get removed, but it's not that bad to have like these foot soldiers here on an objective in my area. Another group of soldiers on my area with the sergeant in this squad, and then the rocket launcher guy, the missile launcher in another squad to be able to help out with that support, although not very good. But I've been thinking about buying another box of the regular foot soldier guys, the tactical squads, to just get more special weapons and then distribute them. Because right now there's only one special weapon in each 10-man squad, because when I started out the game, I was kind of an idiot, and I thought the bolt guns are the main things you want to have with a little bit of special, when it's wrong. You actually want to have a lot of these. But they cost more points, so who knows. Flamer's free, though. So I'm very tempted to just put Flamers in all of them, which I think it's a wise idea. It makes sense to me. And of course, this is 3 attacks for each. Space Marines is 15, 30, 45, so 90 total attacks for these squads. Base. Now, if they are in fact charging, that'll be by times 4. So up to, so that would mean this would be 20 attacks. So 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. So you could have 120 attacks on the charge for these guys. Not, of course, including Lamarty's here with all of his good stuff. And then these Terminators have actually, they have 2 wounds each. They'll be invaluable for dropping in and distracting some of the more meatier targets, because my enemy will be incentivized to take them out. That's what I'm counting on. So that way my Death Company Dreadnought can march forward. And keep in mind, all of these vehicles are really speedy, so I'll be able to just charge them. As the Blood Angels, we're an aggressive army. That's just the way that the game is played. Now, originally when I first got into the game, I was thinking, I'm Space Marines, and the humans, we got guns, let's just shoot the aliens from a distance. Well, turns out, I picked an army that's not as good at shooting, so I decided, let's just embrace what we're good at and send in a lot of dudes to swarm. So, again, just to repeat, the way that the new rules work for 8th edition of Warhammer 40k, just moving some models out of the way there, is that you must deploy at least 50% of your army must be on the board. That is a rule. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that would be 7 units. Okay, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at least 50% of my army is in fact going to be deployed, which is within the legal sphere. And if I wanted to, I could have these guys deploy outside and then hop in and drive off if I needed to, if for whatever reason there was a rules issue. But this is what it's called a null deployment army. A null deployment army is essentially any army that has troops in reserve that will not be able to be fired upon by your opponent during their turn while they're kept off the board. So all of these guys here and all of these guys here will not be on the board in the beginning of the game. They'll be off and hiding away, and my enemy will only see this, which, in all fairness, it's pretty scary. I mean, you got speedy, flaming tanks. These guys actually I've been testing them out against my Marines, just having them shoot at the Marines and Marines shoot back. They're pretty darn good at killing infantry, which is what I counted on. He's more for killing the heavy guy, their heavy things. Like if I saw a Land Raider, I'm going to throw this guy at him, because he's like one of the only guys who I have who would actually do a good job taking that out. But everything hurts everything, so in a way, if I needed to, I could have some Death Company squads dropping in. And here's the other cool thing, if I really wanted to, each of a Death Company squad can have up to 15 members. So if I wanted to, this could all be one unit, this could all be one unit, and then for sure I would satisfy having at least 50% of my army on the deployed and ready to go. Now, sadly, as you can probably tell, there's also no drop pod for me to... I think I mentioned that. No drop pod for him. No Vindicators, those are the other 2 things. And no Captain. I don't have the Space Marine Captain, which means that he's going to become the Warlord, which is why Lamarty's is very important to take. I could have taken just a Chaplain, and then I think if I had done that, I could have put in a Vindicator, but I feel like having Lamarty's and all his special powers, as well as being a warlord that's kept off the table, because a warlord kill is a point, I could technically save these guys for turn 4, drop them in on turn 4, especially, see, this is one of those armies where I think I could survive a second turn. Like, if I don't get first turn, that means I get the last turn. So that means if I had these guys deep strike in, hidden in cover for turn 4, provided I am second turn, then on turn 5, that would mean I have the last turn of the game, provided the game doesn't end, and then jump in and onto all the objectives, contest everything, hold my own. These guys are going to need to be in cover better. I've been thinking about the way I've been deploying these guys, as you've probably seen, together or whatever, to hold on the objective. These guys need to be going to ground. They need to, I don't need to be worrying about shooting these guys. I mean, it is a sad waste of shots. I'd rather have these guys advance onto an enemy infantry squad. So there is that. I mean, obviously these guys are going to be targeting the infantry. He's going to be going against tanks. This is more objective securing and just kind of staying alive. It's going to be kind of a racy, driving around. Again, Blood Angels, we're speedy. We have speedy vehicles, so we can hide and hold out. And this is only 1983 points, so I am definitely spending whatever points it costs to give these guys the overcharge engines and such. I just, for the life of me, cannot figure out how many points those are. But I'm sure the guys at the club will tell me and such. Well, the gaming store I'm going to, which I'll definitely talk about later. So yeah, that's my current battle plan strategy. I know it's been a while since I've done a 40K video. I'm really sorry about that. Just been kind of busy with things and, putting out the video game videos and such. But definitely going to have some more 40K to come. At the time of this recording, I'll be playing 40K in 2 days from now. So definitely going to be trying to get some more battle reports. And worst case scenario, if I show up and all the games are full, but, there's people playing, I'll definitely show you battle reports of other armies. Because also, I'd really love to play 40K on, the regular tables. Well, not the regular tables, but, the nice tables with the cool terrain and have all the models out. And I just think it'd be wonderful. Because that's something I really love about this game is the fact that all of the models would look amazing on the correct terrain. Fighting against other armies that my friends don't own, so it'd be cool to fight some Tyranids or Orcs or something. I don't know what they have there. I don't know what they're playing. Maybe it's all Marines, in which case we're gonna have rainbows of Skittles just everywhere, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Totally fine to smack down my fellow brothers, because of course, as Blood Angels, we're the most loyal to the Emperor. As in the lore, because in the lore, where the reason why our great emperor survived the Horus Heresy, which you can feel free to look up, or maybe I'll talk about it if you guys ask for it, depending on it. But all that matters is I consider these guys to be the most loyal Space Marine chapter, simply in the way that they're connected to their dead leader. And it's just super inspirational to think about these guys charging into battle. And I'm really excited. So feel free to comment about this battle plan that I'm thinking here for how to relook at using the new 8th edition rules to help me out, especially since these guys have auto hit weapons, which is amazing. So all of these flamers, there's 6 of them, and yes, I paid the points for them when I made this army. So feel free to look at this just so you know all of the points. I'll even get a little closer just in case. Feel free to look at how I've organized my points, so you can definitely see how I've done everything. Again, I'm happy to edit the Ball Predators one points just to toss in the overcharge engines. Going to try and put overcharge engines on these, so that way everything's going speedy, 18 inches up the board. If we were doing, edge to edge, Dawn of War, if we did Dawn of War deployment, it'd be able to get up there right away, hold those objectives, and this is supposed to be an army that survives. It's a surviving army. Not necessarily good against heavy vehicles, but good against swarms. Because in 40K, you cannot protect your army from, every scenario. If you're trying to do an all-around army, then usually dedicate, like for example, say we go against an all-around army. My army will do an amazing job at killing off their troops, because I'll definitely be focusing all my effort on killing their troops. But then their vehicles, I'm just going to ignore. It doesn't matter. But a vehicle's only 1 point for scoring objectives. So that's why I'm very tempted to not even use these guys for half the battle. And if possible, just use this only half my army in the initial battle. And of course, that is for a 2,000 point game. There'll be all kinds of armies. Hopefully, there'll be all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm really excited to check it out and see what happens. And I guess it's going to wrap it up here. If I think of anything else, I'll definitely make more videos of this before the first battle report, but that's going to be, well, I guess it's going to be the 4th battle report in the series, but you know, the first one of going to the new store. So yeah, and also just for reference, if any of you guys are in the Seattle area, you want to have a battle, I'm here. I'm definitely down to play some 40K with you. If you want to meet up, we'll go to a gaming store. Obviously, I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to go to your house. You're not going to come to my house. That'd be kind of weird. But if you want, we can do that. Just hit me up. Let me know. And thank you all for watching. I'm Elwirfy, and I'll see you guys next time.